Hey everyone, and welcome to part 1, Python Foundations. This is the very beginning of your coding journey. Over the next few lessons, we're going to learn the essential skills that every single programmer needs, from printing simple text to making decisions and repeating tasks automatically. These concepts might feel simple at first, but trust me, they are the exact same ones silently running in the background of apps you use every day, like Spotify, Instagram, and Netflix. By the end of this part, you won't just understand these building blocks. You'll start seeing how they connect to the digital world all around you. So let's begin with the classic first step every coder takes. First up, saying hello to Python. How do you get a computer to respond? In Python, you just type the word print, open parentheses, and inside them, put your text in quotation marks. Like, hello, Python. When you run it, the computer replies on screen. Hello, Python. Simple, right? You can change the text to welcome to coding, and Python will print that instead. You can even do quick calculations. If you type print 5 plus 7, the computer instantly responds with 12. It feels small, but this is the seed of everything. Netflix displaying play next episode, or your calculator app showing a summit, all starts with this one simple principle. Making the computer show something useful. Now that Python can talk, how do we get it to remember things? With variables. Think of a variable as a labeled box. If you write name equals Alice, Python now remembers Alice under the label name. If you write age equals 25, it remembers that number too, and you can update these values anytime. If age is 25 and you write age equals age plus 1, Python updates the box. Now it says 26. This is exactly what is happening when Amazon keeps track of your shopping cart or Instagram remembers your username. Without variables, a program would forget everything the moment it runs. They are your program's memory. Python is also a master of numbers. If you set x equals 10, that's an integer. If you set y equals 3.14, that's a float, or a decimal. You can do math with them, too. Print x plus y gives you 13.14. These aren't just toy examples. Banks use this exact math to process billions of transactions, and NASA calculates rocket paths using floats with extreme precision. Python's number system scales from your pocket change all the way to planetary science. But the internet runs on text. Python stores text in something called strings. If you set word equals Python, you can ask Python to print word upper, and it responds with Python in all caps. You can even combine strings. If greeting equals hello and name equals Alice, then greeting plus name becomes hello Alice. Every tweet, caption, or password you've ever typed is handled as a string. As your programs grow, you'll want to check what kind of data you're holding. Python's type function lets you do that. If age equals 25, its type is an integer. If price equals 19.99, its type is a float. This is Python's built-in quality control preventing crashes. Like a payment system receiving $20 as text instead of a number. Code is often read by other people, which is why comments are so important. Start a line with a hashtag, and you can write a note for humans, like "this adds to numbers." The computer ignores it, but it makes your code understandable. Comments don't talk to the machine, they talk to people. Naturally, Python handles all bottleneck arithmetic. 5 plus 2 feet is 7. 5 halves is 2.5. But it also lets you ask questions. Is 5 greater than 3? Python says true is 10 equals 10. Also true. These are called relational operators, and they are how an ATM checks if your balance is high enough for a withdrawal. You can also combine these questions. Is your age greater than 18 and less than 30? The AND operator checks both, or is logged underscore in true or subscribed true. The OR operator just needs one to be true. These logical operators build the smart rules that decide if you can access content online. This leads us to if statements, Python's way of making decisions. If score greater than equals 50, print pass, but what if it's not? That's where else comes in. If stock greater than 0, print available, else print out of stock. This ensures your program always has a response. And for more than 2 options, elif-elsif lets you create multiple paths, like grading systems or subscription tiers. Finally, let's talk about repetition. While loops repeat a task until a condition is met. For example, while I equals 3, print I and add 1. It will print 1, 2, 3, and then stop. And for loops are perfect for going through items in a list. For fruit in apple, banana, cherry, print the fruit. This is how Instagram displays your feed, looping through posts one by one. And the range function helps you loop through numbers, which is perfect for creating numbered lists or paginated results. And that's a wrap on part 1. We've covered printing, variables, data types, operators, comments, decision-making, with if-else, and loops. These are the absolute fundamentals, the bedrock of every app you use. In part 2, we'll build on this by exploring functions and reusability, which is where your code becomes truly powerful and clean. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next part of our Python journey. See you in the next video.